Perfect.
Welcome to another episode of The Growth Compass. Shout out to our sponsor senders. If you want to do cold email deliverability correctly, you can click the link in the description of this video. But without them, I wouldn't be able to interview incredible, interesting people like Ty. What's going on? Welcome.
What it do? What it do? How are you, man?
Good. Well, this is really interesting. I think a niche that I haven't directly spoken to anybody about. I have experience supplying cold coffee to offices, but I don't know anything about the back end. So I've spoken to a lot of people that clean offices and stuff, but I haven't spoken to anybody in the industry. So if you could just give a quick introduction of yourself and also what you're building.
Yeah, man. My name is Ty, and I'm the founder and CEO of Get Bright. We are a tech-driven commercial cleaning company. So it's kind of like, you know how there's insurance tech, there's fintech. We are in the Janny tech, which is super new.
I love
It's
that.
like I think we're the first ones even using the term Janny
Yeah,
tech,
yeah.
which is pretty fun. And yeah, I mean, we started like how the company started was over tequila, Casamigos Reposado. So the inspiration came for when I started working at Tesla. I was in their sales department. They call it advisors because they didn't want to say sales. And then I would see, cleaning companies like we're always switching over cleaning companies and how they weren't doing a good job. And then I went over to the fintech industry at Clover, and the idea was always in the back of my mind. I was like, man, like
Interesting.
I'm looking at my competitor's website. I'm like, they look really bad, and their services are also really not that great. Also very tech deprived. Most importantly, the employees are not being treated well enough. That's why the cleaning is not being done well enough. And I just saw a big hole in the market. And then I had a buddy who's he invests in startups, and we were drinking, having a good time. And I'm just pitching him. I'm like, dude, like I'm happy at Clover, but I don't know, I have this little itch to get in this like random industry, and it's in janitorial, and then we want to implement tech in it. So and then we're just drinking more, drinking. After I'm done my pitch, which wasn't even a pitch, it was a conversation. I was
Sure.
like, "I'll invest in your company if you quit your job right now." And I was like, I mean, I'm already a bottle of tequila deep, him too. So I said, "Fuck
Yeah.
it." Next thing I know, he wires me the money. He's like, "All right, I'll send you a resignation letter."
Wow.
Dude, I was making good money as an account executive at Clover. Like you can make up to $300,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the average employee makes 180K, and as like a 23-year-old, you're like, "Oh my god, this is like life changing money." And then now I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go clean toilets." So I was like, "But you know what?" I'm like, "Life is all about taking risk. The biggest risk is taking no risk." So I said, I sent my resignation letter, and next thing I know, the next I was cleaning offices.
How long ago was that?
This was is going to be 1 year and 20 days.
Hey, congrats, man. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this all in the same area? I see you're based in Canada.
Yeah. So we're in Montreal now. We're gonna be expanding to Toronto very soon, hopefully by Q2 of next year, and then as well as Vancouver. My investors are all based out of Vancouver, and then yeah, so it's we're doing everything that's wrong within the industry. We try to fix it with our platform and what our new philosophy, which we can dive deeper if you want
Yeah,
to.
yeah. I think I want to get. So I do want to get into that, but first I just want to cover personally. So those
Yeah.
experiences at Tesla and Clover and any other ones that you've had is
Mhm.
something I like to explore with people. Is that what if you could choose two of the experiences that you had prior, and again, it could be outside of the two that you mentioned, but you already mentioned those two. What two experiences contributed to you being in the headspace, being the type of person that would take that risk, that would take that jump to start the company when the opportunity presented itself?
I mean, like there's this new trend going around where it's like you need to start your own company, just quit your 9 to 5 and so on. I'm not here to give that advice. I think a 9 to 5 is such a great option. I'm just saying it depends really on your personality. My personality was I always liked to lead people, and I've hated being led. I just had a problem with authority, and having amazing managers at Tesla, where they actually led by example, was seeing that firsthand and experiencing that firsthand was something that gave me the confidence to know how to lead and start my own business. So seeing management being done at a very excellent score on the corporate world actually inspired me that to start my own thing. So I can give you an example where the general manager I was working with at Tesla at the time, and he's a GM. Like he doesn't have to wash cars, and we were short staffed. So he went out there, canceled his meetings, and was washing cars, helping
It's pretty awesome.
helping the service department. And I'm like to me, that was unbelievable because like the idea that I had was like, for an executive, you don't do that, right? So seeing him like come with us was unbelievable. Same thing at when I was in financial tech at Clover. The manager that I had, when like his guiding, his training, where when I made a mistake or so he wasn't like yelling at me or anything like that. It was more of a like cool, like what'd you learn from it? Like how can we improve this? So definitely that's one of the best experience I've had was having amazing managers, having amazing leaders. And at number two is taking a leap like into an industry that's tech deprived. Tesla was the first company to revolutionize electric cars. Like they were the ones that accelerated the world into renewable energy. They were the first ones to ever do it. Massively successful. Clover was is a payment processing and SaaS company. Not that they're one of the first ones, but they are the leading ones, one of the leading payment processing companies in the world. Why? Because of their tech, of their user friendly experience. So seeing how these two companies merge UI, tech, and tech deprived industry, because payment processing before was just like a Nokia pad, you would tap it.
Yeah.
But now you see like interfaces. Oh, would you like the receipt to be sent to your email? Like seeing that UI that both Tesla and Clover did was another experience that I'm like, oh, cool. Like hey, you can go out there and bring new like you can also be one of the first ones to bring tech or to bring like a new UI, new philosophy, new way of thinking into an industry that no one else is doing it. So these were the two experiences that kind of was like, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, let me do this in the janitorial world because I see as being tech deprived, and see how it goes.
Okay, so incredible leadership examples, and it provided you an idea of what you wanted to be to other people at some point, and then
Yes.
opportunity through these two companies, Tesla and Clover. You were interested in enabling tech in tech deprived
Yeah,
spaces.
because they both revolutionized their respective industry, right? I mean, yeah, sure, you can call Tesla a robot company, but at the end of the day, like they, we always just say, I'm like, oh, Tesla, we're a robot company, but we happen to make the best cars in the world, right? It's like, dude, like let's just drop the bullshit. It's like you guys are a fucking car
Yeah,
company,
yeah.
and it is great. Same thing with Clover, where it's like man, the growth that we're having was insane because we were one of the first ones to have like a touchpad on the payment processing, make it look nice, user friendly, like bringing new technology into the field. People before were like, I don't need I mean, who cares if I have a touchscreen? Who cares if I have a nice UI? But now everyone's like, man, like my customers are asking for
Yeah.
it. We look more legit if we have a Clover machine. So seeing them bring like tech that's never been seen before in the industry, like taking the leap, being the leaders was very inspiring. Working for a company like that was definitely very, very inspiring.
So when you got the opportunity, you said, "I'm doing it," and it was
As if
I don't
fuck
know,
it.
I don't know. It was 3 a.m. or something, and you sent a resignation letter.
Yeah.
What were the first, let's say, 3 months like? Like, what were you doing for the first 3 months?
Horrible.
How quickly did you acquire a customer? How were you trying to acquire customers? Things like this.
So acquiring my like after 2 weeks, I acquired my first customer. Where I said, I'm like, you know what? We're only gonna do offices. I get in the meeting with the client, and very, 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 very like we actually had to drop them as clients. Funny enough, but not really funny enough. They were saying, could you also clean houses? Like, we'll say yes to your contract if you can also clean the CEO's house, the founder's house.
Interesting.
And I was like, yes, of course, we can do that. So I stumbled. I was like, I went against the core philosophy of Get Right, which we are trying to be the world's best office cleaning company for offices. And then that was a disaster. Like our cleaning wasn't good enough. I didn't know what I was doing. I was doing a lot of research and I was just making a lot of mistakes. And then I was scared to make mistakes, but it's by making mistakes that you learn, right? So I would say the first 7 months, I was just kind of scared to take more risks because I didn't want to upset the client, or I wasn't sure if I'm like, oh, if I change my pitch, or if I change the products that I use, or if I change some of my SOPs, like might lose these clients. But I'm like, well, dude, you're supposed to make mistakes. You're supposed to, try to come up with new ideas, test out ideas that were never tested before. So first 6 months were absolutely brutal because I got humbled.
Okay.
I came into it very arrogant. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make sales. It's gonna be easy. It's not that hard to clean a fucking office. And I'm like, no, it's actually there's a lot that goes into it. Patient, and then like rust proofing bathrooms. I'm like, these are things that you just don't think of. And now it's growing at a fast pace. Now we're growing where we're like, okay, it's like now, like again, after today, like I'm short staffed, so I gotta go clean offices with my team. You know,
Yeah,
you know
nice.
what I mean? 'Cause I hire more people, right? So yeah, first 6 months were actually brutal. And I think a lot of founders, they make that mistakes where they go work at a very established company. They know exactly what to do. You have a playbook, you have a training guide, and then I have to go create your own training guide. And then, but you're like, oh, but it has to work. Like, no, it's not supposed to work. You're supposed to fuck up. You're supposed to dive deep in a cement bowl. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to have a broken nose. You're supposed to be humble. And I think that's what it was. It was a humbling
Well,
experience.
so
The
so
first
then
6 months.
can you talk a little bit, because I think that's a great point that I mean, even the one running this podcast, like the one putting forward my own things, like it's a hard thing to
Yeah,
continue to reinforce to yourself. So would you be able to speak on, like, in those first 6 months where you say it was really hard, were you continuing
and it's
to,
still hard.
oh, well, of course, but were you continuing to get more clients? Were you sticking with the just trying to keep the ones that you had? And then also, at what point did it shift? At what point did it start being like, okay, this is kind of making sense, now we're doing something that kind of works?
Yeah, so the first 6 months, though, like the company looked very, very different. Like I remember our mission statement was tech-driven commercial cleaning company that safeguards businesses from external and internal threats. Shut the fuck up. Like, what do you mean by that, And companies were like, are you guys a tech? Like our website looked very nice. Like this website is dumbified a little bit and is simplified, but at first, it looked like a tech company. People were asking us, what software do you sell, Octai? And I'm like, okay, we're looking too techy. And what we meant by external threats was, listen, we background check all of our employees every 6 months. So there's going to be no corporate espionage, you know? Which it is true. We still do background check all of our employees every 6 months. But the whole corporate espionage thing is like, it does happen in the janitorial industry, but it's not something that is like something that is a super unique selling point. Anybody can do background check their employees. So we're like, okay, I need to shift away from the tech world and dive a little bit deeper in the janitorial world. So yeah, in the beginning, people just thought of us as a tech company, as a tech startup. They weren't really taking us seriously. They were kind of like, we don't know if you guys can clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was one of the things. Number two was it was definitely relying too much on inbound and not on outbound. I think that's a big one. Where the past two companies I worked at, I was an inbound guy. That was inbound. Clover fully inbound. Like I would get 7 leads a day, man. Like it was a luxurious place to be in. Like I don't take inbound for granted anymore. Before I'm like, lead doesn't answer after two calls, like whatever, unqualified.
Yeah, yeah.
But now it's like, oh my god, we're getting a lead. And and then yeah, relying too much on inbound, relying too much on on partnerships and so on. It's like, no, dude, you got to go out there and you got to go hunting, you know? And that's what we're doing now. Like, we got a whole door to door sales initiative going on. That was the another mistake too, is that like waiting for clients to come on your lap. And it's like, that's doesn't happen because you have a great image and you're different and so on. Doesn't mean that clients are going to trust you, doesn't mean that clients are going to want to work with you. Sometimes they just want a good cleaning company. That's all they want.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about the whole like external, internal threats. And it's like, yeah, that's nice, but can you clean? And that was one of the things where I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I need to refocus, reshift. And that's where we're a great cleaning company. We also happen to have this dashboard, this tech for you. We also happen to plan the tree per cleaning session. These are extras, but at our core, we're a really good cleaning company.
Gotcha. So then was it the introduction of the outbound that started to change things?
Yeah, yeah,
So
100%.
how'd
It
you go
was
about that? And like, who told you that? Was it somebody, or was it something you just realized?
yeah, it's funny. My buddy that took my position at Clover, he used to have a window cleaning business.
Ah.
And I was telling him, I'm like, man, I'm struggling. He's like, dude, you gotta go door to door, because that's how you go get business. Bro, you gotta go door to door. I'm like, bro, they're gonna tell me to get out of here. I'm not gonna go door to door. He's like, dude, just I know it's suck and it sucks. Door to door. Like, I was saying, like, oh, like, Get Bright were kind of too good for door to door,
Huh.
or I don't like people messing with me. But it, to be honest, I was scared to do door
Of
to door.
course,
You
yeah.
know, like it's terrifying. Door to door is fucking scary, man. You know. Then I was like, one day I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go door to door. Random day. And then I hit 5 businesses. I go door to door. We're not interested. No, thank you. Fifth business. Yeah, cool. We're actually unhappy. Can you come do a quote? I was like, what? I'm like, I'm so stupid. I was like, I'm so stupid. I was like, I should have done this like a year
Yeah,
ago. Would
yeah,
have
yeah.
been a fucking 7-figure business by now, you know? But yeah, it was realizing that again, I was again scared to fail. That's why I was not doing door to door. Because if you're scared to try something new, it's not the fact that you're scared to try it because it's new. It's because you're scared that you're going to try it and it's going to fail. You're going to have no other new ideas,
Sure, yeah.
which is so wrong, because it was when we failed constantly on the new ideas that we had that better ideas came that made us successful.
So do you pair then? Because you don't hear, I don't think, a lot of companies doing like real door to door. I think people refer to like cold
Yeah.
email or cold calling like as digital door to door because that's
We,
what people do. So do you
yeah,
guys pair that with those campaigns, or is it strictly?
yeah. So that's an untapped thing that we've never done, right? That's one when you said senders, I'm like, well, listen, it's something we never
Yeah,
tried,
yeah.
you know, and it's something that isn't in the back of our mind. I mean, man, I can tell you, I'm getting a lot of emails from service providers that I'm like, oh, maybe like I'm interested in this tech. And I'm like, wait a minute, what if I do it myself as well? Right. So people think outbound is dead. It is dead. On LinkedIn, it's completely dead, in my opinion. But I feel like email outbound, or cold calling, I'm like, these, or door to door, it's not dead. It's still the way to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100%.
Well, I think it's also important because it ties. It's very relevant to your product and who your customer is. So,
Mhm.
so recognizing that's also cool. Can you talk about, because you said you first started, bringing tech to a tech deprived industry. How are you
Yes.
doing
So
that?
that's not on our website. That's what we're going through a rebranding. It's like we're gonna finally show it
So
off.
how are you? Yeah, how
So
are you doing that?
yeah, this is how we're gonna, because people were like how? Because people see it on our proposals on how it looks like. So before that, we need to discuss the problems and in the janitorial space. There are a couple of problems. Number one is lack of quality control. You can't be everywhere at the same time. You can't expect also on top of that that the cleanings are going to be done at like the best top at every single time without any supervision. Another aspect of it too is clients So they don't know if the cleaners are coming in or coming out. Maybe like you work super clean in this office, it was already clean, but the clients are like, well, was there anybody here? Like they also don't know. Like because again, we're supposed to be invisible, right? And also lack of communication. If there's an issue or there's something that the client wanted to add, or hey, like could we do a window cleaning, or could we add a deep carpet cleaning, or hey, like there's these boxes and they're removed, we don't know where they are, that your cleaners do it. There's so many barriers. You have to call customer service. Customer service has to hand you to your account manager. Account manager has to call the cleaners, and then the cleaners. It's a whole shit show. So what we did was we're working on this app. It's called the Get Right app, and basically what it does is every time our cleaners are done cleaning, they have a checklist per location. Use geofencing, so when they walk into your account into your building, they get an alert that hey, cleaners have walked in, so you know that your cleaners are there. They take post cleaning photos. So every time they're done a task, they need to take a post cleaning photos, and you can view those photos, right? So it's just kind of like Uber versus taxi. Same thing for us, like the us Janny tag versus traditional janitorial. We both get the job done. Is that in Uber, you can see that your driver's coming to you. You got that, you can message the driver. You have that more peace of mind. They can both do a good job. It's not like our cleaning is revolutionary or something.
Yeah.
We use the best out there, 100%. But I'm not saying like my cleaning is better than everyone. No, no, that's arrogant to say. No, like there's really a lot of good cleaning companies out there. But what makes us different is that our clients feel that they're in control. They can see the photos. They can message the cleaners. Hey, we left a box of recycling next to the kitchen. Can you guys also throw those out? You know, and that, and when we're onboarding clients soon on that, that is the main thing that made us like be super different, and also allowed us to have quality control remotely. If the cleaners are gonna, let's say, like my team, if they're gonna clean something, they need to take a picture of it. So it is going to be done. It's not that I don't trust my employees. Like we really do. It's just that we don't have to micromanage them anymore. And nobody likes to be micromanaged. And that's one of the biggest things that's going to be changed. And we're the first and only ones doing it within the industry. That's what we're doing with Janny Tech. And
That's really interesting. That I mean, it seems.
yeah,
I think. I mean, it speaks to I think a good solution when you can describe it in that way, and then someone says, "Well, obviously,"
yeah,
But if it was
yeah.
that obvious, like why are you the first one to
Yeah,
do
that's
it?
the thing. That's the thing, and another aspect of it too is where we do things very very differently, and we're really this is the thing that I'm more proud of than I am than the app, is the fact that we pay very good salaries to our cleaners. So we happen to be always the most expensive option out there. Like 98% of the time, we're the most expensive option out there. It's because we provide comprehensive healthcare. We provide a very good salary, and we let the customers know. Like every time I start a meeting, I'm like, hey guys, just letting you know, like we're gonna be the most expensive option out there. Just because, first of all, like something that people don't like to discuss is we're not hiring, illegal immigrants or illegal, uh, you know, I'm making it myself, by the way. But we're not hiring people without papers, paying them cash, taking advantage of them, and then pocketing the rest. Like we know cleaning companies, they pay them $8 an hour. I'm like, how the fuck are the employees living on $8 an
Yeah, yeah.
hour? It's ridiculous, right? So there's like a whole family working for this company, but it's like they're a literal slave. So it's like modern day slavery. We don't do that. Yeah, that's the cool part, is that when we go out to these team meetings, what our cleaning team, we go to bars, we go to restaurants, we take them out and we have a good time, and also make us feel good that hey, we're paying them such a good wage that they can also go out on their own. They can also spoil their kids if they want to, and so on. So this has been like a very thing that we're very very proud of, is hey, like our margins is 20% less than a traditional cleaning company. But man, I can tell you that like my team is so much more happier, and they're going to be with me such a longer time than any other cleaning companies. And it's the best ROI, 'cause that means, like, listen, 20% less, but I don't need to hire extra managers to manage them. So instead of hiring extra managers to manage them, I can just pay them a better wage and they'll do a better job.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm winning.
Well, good for
You
yeah,
know?
good for you, Ty. Is that type of like moral structure, cultural structure related to the tree planting initiative that you talk that you guys speak
Yes,
to?
yes. The tree planting stems from like me, I'm Zoroastrian, and we always say where we say good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Have good thoughts, say good words, and do good deeds. And one of the things like before, my time has ended on this world where I'm like, well, how can I positively impact the world where even after I'm gone, it still stays here? I was treating people with dignity and respect is one thing. Another thing is there's a big like climate change is a big issue, hence why I worked at Tesla. And seeing all these beautiful forests in the Amazon rainforest or these forest fires that are happening, well, man, it's like I'm like, well, how can we help with that? That's what we said. Well, every cleaning session we can plant a tree, and if we can acquire all these cleaning companies, coming in, and we can maybe plant 1 million tree per year, that would drastically like change the world. Even after if the company, God forbid, goes bankrupt, if something happens, I die, or whatever, we fucking planted thousands of trees. Like that's something that it's like, what do you like? What did your company do? Like, yeah, 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 these techs cool, yeah, 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 like all this. Man, we planted like three fucking stadiums worth of trees. Like that's what we did. It's the best flex. It's a better flex than having a Rolex and having a fucking Rolls Royce. It's like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
yo, like I'm gonna be dead, and my legacy, my company's legacy is gonna be there, like in the Amazon rainforest and so on. So something pretty cool.
Is that through a partnership with somebody that you have that?
Yeah. So our initial partnership, well, I can't even say their name anymore,
Okay.
was with this really big tree planting
Sure, sure,
company. You can find them.
sure.
And then now our partnership has switched over to Evertree, which is a UK based company. And what's great about them is that they take satellite photos of the trees that we plant, so we can see the plants. Like we can see the tree plant, we can see
Nice.
the trees growing. So cool. The other company wasn't doing that as much. And yeah, so is Evertree. And it's funny enough, outbound
Look at
on
that. Good job,
weekends.
Evertree.
And
Good job.
that's how we switched over.
Yeah. Well, I think this is super cool. I mean, your energy, your mission, what you're building, all of it is super cool. There are two questions I love to ask everybody, and I'm excited for your answers. My first one is, what would you say is your biggest challenge that you're facing at the moment, and could you frame it as an opportunity?
It's oof, biggest challenge. Which one do I go for? That's the better question. It's I would say it's something that we're getting over it right now, but it's at the end of the day, the biggest challenge is like when your startups, it's always sales and growth, not losing sight of who we are and what we do in exchange of growth. So we can have a sustainable growth over something more like of, hey, we got 20 more accounts, now I need to stress over my team, stress over my cleaners, stress over myself, pay bad wages. And it's like, and then we just lose the core of what Get Bright are, which we're trying to be the best cleaning company. So I would say is growing at a sustainable pace where we don't lose our identity is going to be is the biggest challenge
That's interesting.
that we're currently
What
facing
it
right now.
what would you say is the opportunity in that challenge?
Man, let's just say Adderall is the biggest opportunity. But lots of coffee, lots of Adderall. I'm joking. I'm joking. Not on the coffee
Turkish
part,
coffee.
man. Turkish coffee. I'm gonna piss off so many Greeks. I love it, and it's funny. We got a huge Greek community here.
Yeah.
Love my Greek folks. The opportunity would be to hire people that believe in the mission and in the dream as much as I do. I think that's the opportunity. Take the same route that Tesla did. Man, you look at Tesla employees, if at some point it felt like a cult. It was a fun cult. I'm like, man, I kind of want to do that over here, where
That's
we
cool.
can grow at a really fast pace, but having people that actually care about saving the planet, offering great service, and killing an industry, like making the big guys kind of stumble a little bit. So yeah, the opportunity is hiring good people with good mindset is the opportunity.
That's super cool. Last question. I am curious, Ty, and it could be small, or it could be like something that happened recently, or it could be something that is, bigger overall for you. But I'm curious what inspires you.
My mom, I would
Ah,
say
I love that.
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely seeing her being a risk taker, seeing how, she raised us as a single mother, in Iran, which is a country that's very hard on women and so on. And then being able to bring us to this amazing country such as Canada, what me and an amazing man such as my stepfather, and raising me to take risks, to be bold, is my biggest inspiration. So I will keep taking risks. I will keep being bold, just because it's the only way that you could find your true potential. And without taking those, again, the biggest risk is taking no risk. And the definition of that is my mom, which is the biggest inspiration.
Well, shout out, mom.
Shout out to mama.
Man, this has been super fun, Ty. Thank you so much for taking time. I
Likewise.
have just so many more questions for you, so I'm excited for the next conversation. If somebody wanted to
Let's do it.
find out more about you or about your company, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
TA, this is we're that simple. If you want to have a conversation, go in the contact form, hit me up, or on LinkedIn, Tay Taimour. You can find me over there. I'm always looking forward to chatting with other fellow entrepreneurs, or other people that, want to, that I can maybe learn from, or vice versa. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, Ty, I'm super excited to keep updated with your journey, man. Good luck with
Thank you,
your
Blake. I
rebrand
appreciate it.
and all the opportunities that you have in front of you.
Yeah, wait for the rebrand. Wait for the rebrand.
You got it. All right, man. You have a good day.
You too. Take care.